10, Finding Purpose and Fulfillment. Welcome back to the Barbara Schnarr podcast, and welcome to week 10 of our happiness journey. I'm Barbara Schnarr, and I'm glad you're here. Every week we come together to grow and glow, learning to live more fully, more consciously, as we glow from the inside out. This is week 10 of 12 of the Barbara Schnarr podcast happiness series. If you're following along in my 12-week happiness book, that's fantastic. If you don't have the book, that's absolutely fine, but you will want something to write with and to write on. If you'd like to get the book, just go to the About section of the Barbara Schnarr podcast where you found this episode, and there will be a link to my 12 happiness coach sessions for coaches and individuals book on Amazon. Or you just go to Amazon and search for Schnarr Coach. That's Schnarr Coach. Be sure to check out the BarbaraSchnarrPodcast.com. You can find daily motivations, the latest podcast episodes, and links to all the books. Be sure to follow me on all the socials too. It sure would help me build up my numbers. Over the past few weeks, you've done a lot of important work. You've explored your values, started making more intentional choices, and begun aligning your life with what actually matters to you. This week, we take that one step further, and we're talking about purpose. Purpose can sometimes feel like a big, intimidating word. It can sound like something you're supposed to have fully figured out and something tied to a career or major achievement or a single defining path. But in reality, purpose is much more personal and much more flexible than that. Purpose is about meaning. It's about having a sense of direction. It's the feeling that what you're doing, in both small and significant ways, matters to you and contributes to something beyond just getting through the day. And fulfillment is what follows from that. It's that sense of satisfaction you feel when your actions and your values and your energy are all aligned. So this week is not about finding one perfect answer to the question, what is my purpose? It's about starting to recognize where purpose already exists in your life and how you're going to build on it. A helpful place to begin is by looking at your past experiences. Think about the moments when you felt deeply engaged, when you were focused and energized and connected to what you were doing. These don't have to be major milestones. Often, they are simple moments that stand out because of how they felt. Ask yourself what you were doing in those moments, who you were with, what kind of energy you felt. When you look at several of these experiences together, patterns often begin to emerge. You might notice that you feel most engaged when you're helping others, creating something, solving problems, learning, or connecting with people. These patterns can give you insight into what brings meaning into your life. Another important piece of this process is identifying your strengths and interests. Purpose is often found at the intersection of what you enjoy and what you're naturally good at, or willing to develop over time. So take some time this week to write down a few things you enjoy doing, even if they seem small or unrelated. Then write down some of the skills or qualities you feel confident in. These might include things like communication, creativity, organization, empathy, or persistence. And once you have both lists, look for connections. Where do your interests and your strengths overlap? Where could they be used in a way that feels meaningful? This isn't about finding one perfect answer, it's about starting to see possibilities. So to help bring this into focus, you can create a simple personal mission statement. This is not something that needs to be complicated or final. It's just a way to put into words what matters to you and how you want to show up. You might think of it as a sentence that captures what you want to contribute and how you want to use your strengths to do it. For example, you might say, I want to support others through encouragement and understanding, or I want to create and share ideas that help people grow. The exact wording is less important than the intention behind it. Once you have a general sense of purpose, the next step is to bring it into your daily life. And this is where many people get stuck. They think purpose requires a major life change, but in most cases, it starts with small, consistent actions. Ask yourself how you can express your purpose in simple ways each day. If your purpose involves helping others, it could be as simple as offering support or encouragement in your daily interactions. If it involves creativity, it could mean setting aside a few minutes to create something. If it involves growth, it could be learning something new or reflecting on your experiences. These small actions reinforce your sense of purpose over time. And as you start to move in this direction, you may notice certain barriers. Self-doubt, uncertainty, or the feeling that you're not ready to show up when you think about living more purposely. You might also feel pressure that you have to have everything clearly defined before you begin. This is where it's important to stay grounded in what you've already practiced. You don't need to have a complete plan. You don't need to know exactly where everything is leading. You only need to take the next small step. If fear or doubt comes up, write it down and look at it objectively. Then ask yourself what one small action you can take anyway. Purpose isn't built through action, not just purpose is built through action, not just reflection. Another important part of fulfillment is contribution. Many people find a sense of purpose grow stronger when they feel they are contributing to something beyond themselves. This doesn't have to be large or formal. It can be as simple as helping someone, sharing your knowledge, or offering your time. This week, look for one way to give back or support someone else. Notice how it feels to contribute, even in a small way. And finally, it's important to remember that purpose is not fixed. It can change over time as you grow and learn and have new experiences. What feels meaningful to you now may evolve, and that's a natural part of the process. The goal is not to define your purpose once and for all. It's to stay connected to what feels meaningful and continue adjusting as you move forward. So as you go through this week, keep your focus steady and practical. Reflect on moments when you felt engaged and fulfilled. Identify your interests and strengths and look for connections. Create a simple personal mission statement. Take one small action each day that reflects your sense of purpose. Notice and challenge any fears or doubts that arise. Find one way to contribute to others, and allow your understanding of purpose to develop over time. And at the end of the week, take time to reflect. What did you learn about what gives your life meaning? Did anything feel more intentional or fulfilling? And what small actions would you like to continue? Because purpose isn't something that you suddenly discover and complete. It's something you build, one choice at a time. Next week, we'll explore optimism and resilience and how to maintain a steady mindset even when things don't go as planned. See you next week.